Hi guys, it's Night Fear, and I'm coming on today to do my wrap up for the ACMC Readathon, which stands for um, Animal Companions and Magical Creatures. I almost forgot what it stood for a second. And so I didn't get as much read as I wanted to, but I did read a lot of great books, and they were a lot of. Between this one, there were some thick ones, and then the other readathon I did, there were some thick books. So I ended up reading 9 books for this one. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know what I read. So as you can see, the dark ones are the ones that I read the book for that prompt specifically. And then we have a couple of them that are dotted, which are books that I read that count for that prompt too. So I ended up getting a bingo across right here. But I will let you know as I go through what books were for what prompts. So I'm going to start off with the first one, which was the adult book. I ended up reading The House of the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I really enjoyed this book. It was a sweet little book. This is about this world where there are magical children, and they end up in these homes so that they can the government can kind of monitor them. And we are following a character who he is tasked with going around to visiting these homes and making sure that they're run properly. And he ends up getting sent to this one home where some very unique magical children live. And yeah, that's the story. I did give this 4 stars. I know a lot of people give it 5 stars. I found it a little bit slow at times. And then I kind of wanted, I don't know, I even wanted a little more. But I did give it 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. I kind of wish this was a series because I would like to see more from these characters. I'd like to see them as they grow up and what happens. So hopefully, maybe they'll return to this world and we'll get to see some more. But I really would recommend this. It is a sweet book. It is a little long, but it was good. Well, no, I guess it's almost like 400 pages, so it's not that long. But yeah, I really liked it. It was good. All right, so for the YA middle grade book, I did end up reading a middle grade. It's Pip Bartlett's Guide to Magical Creatures, by Jackson Pearson and Maggie Stiefvater. I gave this a 3-star. It was good. It was just about this girl who she can talk to magical creatures and nobody believes her, and something happens and she gets sent to live with her aunt, who is a vet to magical creatures. And I did like Pip a little bit. She was just kind of, I don't know, she's unique. And then she meets this little boy who is kind of a loner. He's kind of a nerdy character. I mean, it was sweet. I don't think I'm going to continue in this world unless I find these maybe at Ollie's, because I only paid $1.99 for this one. So I mean, if I happen to see some more of these, I might get them, but it's not something that I would go out of my way for. And it's got unicorns in here. I mean, it talks about unicorns too, which I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I liked it okay. It just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't quite what I wanted. So the next one is, Asian. And I read this, actually I listened to this one. Hold on, let me turn on my Kindle here. Come on. Okay. But I read The Golem and the Genie by Helen Wecker. Wecker. And this book was amazing. I gave this one 5 stars. We start off at the beginning where we find out exactly how the golem is created, and why she was created. We go, we meet her master, and then something happens and she is by herself in New York. And then we get the next part, which is about the genie and him being freed from his lamp. It's not really a lamp, but And so we get his story, and then, you know, we kind of get their stories and then how they meet. Um, I loved the different characters. This audiobook was really good. I really loved it. The next one comes out, I think it's in June, and I can't wait because I'm gonna read it when it comes out. Um, but it was such an interesting story. Um, and the kind of the mythology of it, where these two different magical creatures come from, where they just, I don't know, it was amazing to me. I really really enjoyed this. This has been on my TBR for a long time. And I'm just, I mean, I am sort of glad I waited, because it's going to be not it's only going to be a couple months before the next one comes out. Let's hope that it's, you know, it comes out when it's supposed to. But yeah, I really like this book, and it just, the you know, we get some Muslim representation a little bit. We get a little bit of the Jewish representation because of the characters that the Gollum and the genie are staying with. Um and we just, I don't know, it's interesting. And then the bad guy is just, his whole story is really interesting too, and he is really a bad guy. He's one that you really just, oh, you just hate him. um so yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's so good. I really 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 enjoyed it, and like I said, I can't wait for the next one, which I guess is a theme from the other wrap up I did. I'm reading a lot of books that are um series, or, you know, and I just can't wait to read the next book. So our next one is Sky, um which is this one. And that is one that I've owned, and I've been wanting to read it for a while. I actually started it, and then for some reason I put it down and didn't pick it back up. So I restarted it. I listened to the audiobook. I listened to the whole audiobook yesterday. And this is called The Shadow Hour. It's by Melissa Gray. This is the second book. I'm not sure what the title of this is, but the first one is The Girl at Midnight, and then there's the third one is Savage Dawn, which I own, which I will be reading um later this month. But this is a wonder. I mean, I gave this one 5 stars. I think I even like this one better than the first one from what I remember. But this is a world, or it's our world, but there are avi something. But anyway, they're bird people basically. They're kind of humanoid, but they have feathers. And then there's Dragarans, and they are dragons. So they have, you know, scales on their skin. And they have been in a war forever, and they're both trying to find the Firebird. So that was basically the premise of the first one. This one starts soon after that one ends, and we get some more of the lore. We find out some more about the Firebird and about what's, I'm trying not to spoil, but you know, we find out some more. There is I do not usually like love triangles, but there is a love triangle in this one that makes sense. It really makes, because of what happens to our main character and the reasons from the first book. It makes sense why there is a love triangle. I still don't know. It's like I root for one, and then I'm not sure, and then I root for the other one, and then it's like, and at the end of this one, I'm still not sure. I think I have an idea who I want her to be with, but I don't know. I'm so torn. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. The next one on who she ends up with and what's going to happen to this world. And yeah, I'm excited about this one. I definitely would recommend this series if you are a fantasy reader. The audiobook was really good. Yeah, so I definitely would recommend this one, but yeah, definitely 5 stars. Oh yeah, and this one was also for the wait a minute, 8 and 10. Oh yeah, this one was also for the LGBTQIA plus, because there is it's not our main character, but they're like a main side character is in a relationship. There's two, and it kind of, it kind of started a little bit in the first one, and we get even more of it in this one. And then there's actually kind of a love triangle. Not really, because there's a character that comes in that's like an old flame of one, and it's interesting. It's really interesting, and I really enjoyed that too. But yeah, I didn't mind it so much in this book. So yeah, there is LGBTQIA plus represented in this one too. Okay. So then we have okay. So this one is going to be two. This one is for the free space and for the YA middle grade for this one. I could do Sky, I guess, for this one too, but I didn't. But this is, this is Anne McCaffrey Dragon Song. If you guys like dragons and have never read any of Anne McCaffrey books, I would highly recommend that you check her out. She is amazing. Of course, she has passed away. But the books she wrote for the Dragon Riders of Pern series, oh my goodness, I love them. This is not where they say it's number one in the series, but you can start kind of anywhere. You can pick it up, and she's real good about referencing other things that happens in other books to make you understand. So you didn't necessarily have to read those other books. But this one is about a girl who she's what they call a sea holder's daughter. And girls at this time are not, basically all she wants to do is be a harper, and the harpers are basically the bards. They are singers, they tell stories, they teach, things like that, and that's all she wants to be. But her father doesn't see that girls are not supposed to be that. And so when the old harper passes away, she's kind of at a loss, and she ends up running away and finding some things. And and there's dragons, there's fire lizards, which are kind of miniature dragons. We get to see a whole bunch of stuff, and it's a very short book, but you see a whole bunch of things. This is a trilogy within the world. The other one are Dragon Singer and Dragon Drum. This is like the third or fourth time I've read this. I probably go on and read the other two. They're really short and they're really good, and I really enjoy these books. But like I said, I highly recommend Anne McCaffrey. So yeah, I gave this 5 stars. I always do. I love her books. So anyway, that's those two spaces and that one. Okay, so then we have our mental health space, which I wasn't sure if this was going to qualify or not, but after reading it, it does. This is Unhinged by A.G. Howard. This is the second book in an Alice in Wonderland retelling. The first book was Splintered, which is this one. And her mom has come home. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. Don't. The first one, her mom was in an insane asylum, and it kind of carries over through this one. This one we're getting a little more of Morpheus, who is kind of the Mad Hatter in the first one. We are I think it's a little ways after the things of the first one. But yeah, she finds out a lot about her history in the first one, even more in this one. But yeah, it's an Alice in Wonderland retelling. Yeah, and I'm sorry if I spoil a little, but it's okay. Hopefully. But these are older books. But anyway, I'm gonna continue with this series. I've I'm gonna get the next two in the from the library. And I gave this one 4 stars. But yeah, I really like this one. But there is definitely some talk about mental health in this one. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna skip C for now. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go right to C because it's C and African, which are the both, and that is for, that is The Deep by River Solomon. This is actually based on a song, which was based on a poem, I believe. But it's a novella. It's very, very short. But basically, it's about the children of African slaves that were pregnant and tossed overboard into the ocean, and what happens to their offspring. And yeah, we're following one character, and she is the um, holder of the memories, basically. And yeah, I don't want to say too much because, like I said, it's a novella. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I really wish that they would have written like a more, like a bigger book, with more. I just wanted more. So I'm hoping that maybe they will look at this again and expand on it a little, maybe. Um, I don't know. I really enjoyed it though. It was good. Um, and I would recommend. And like I said, it was really really short. I listened to the audiobook, um, and it was good. And I'm glad I read it. Okay, so then we are down to our last two. We have Beyond, which for this one I read A Gathering of Ravens by Scott Odin. This is another one that's a starting of a series. I can't remember if the next book is out or not yet, though. Anyway, but this is about. I wasn't sure at first because it sounded, when I first read it, it was like it was a god, and then other things refer to it like orcs. I don't know. It's kind of a combination. But basically, he is the last of his race, and he meets this Norris dude that's turned into, or that's kind of turned his back on the Norse religion and is now a Christian. And this Christian, um, I don't want to say, I don't want to spoil it. This other Christian, and ends up kidnapping the other Christian, and um because he has a revenge. He's trying to get revenge. And we do see ravens are a part of this. They're here and there.